So, Module 1 of the AI Automation Expert Program, AI Fundamentals. What is AI? A simple picture. At its core, AI operates on a straightforward principle. It takes inputs, your questions or data, and generates outputs, answers or actions. It achieves this by leveraging patterns learned from vast amounts of prior information. Think of it as a highly intelligent system that processes information and responds based on its learned knowledge and capabilities. So, again, AI, in its simplest form, takes inputs, like your questions or data, and generates outputs, like answers and actions. So, takes inputs, like questions or data, and generates outputs, like answers or actions. That's the simplest explanation. And it's able to do that because of something we call training. So we train AI on a big amount of information, and this is how it can leverage the patterns to be able to give us the output we're looking for. Key AI concepts explained simply. So some of the core components of building AI agents and workflows are the following. We have the LLM, which is the large language model or the brain. It writes words, but it cannot click buttons by itself. So it can generate an email, can generate text, but it cannot send the email by itself. We have the tools or the hands. They are apps that do stuff like send an email or add to sheet. We have memory or notebook where we jot things so we don't forget. This is mostly used when we have an agent, for example, and we're chatting with it. We need the agent to remember at least like the 10 or 20 latest messages. This is where we use simple memory for it to remember the chat we had between us and the agent. And that's one of the cases for simple memory. We have the database or the library where lots of organized facts live. Like this is the database where we store a lot of data, especially when we have a big amount of data we want to store. We use a vector database, and I'm going to explain what that means in the following videos. So to recap, the brain thinks, hands do, notebook remembers, and library stores. In other words, the LLM or large language model thinks, the tools do, the memory remembers, and the database stores. Simple. Ways to use AI. There are two main ways we're going to be using AI to benefit US businesses or businesses in general and provide value and charge them money for that value that we provided. And the first one is an AI workflow. The second would be an AI agent. And the difference is very simple and straightforward. An AI workflow is fixed. Predictable steps using an LLM or the brain, and specific tools in a linear order, ideal for automated repetitive tasks like drafting and sending welcome emails upon new lead entry. So an AI workflow has a specific sequence, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, in a linear order. An AI agent, on the other hand, an LLM, large language model, or the brain, that freely chooses which tools to use to achieve a goal, a smart digital assistant that makes its own decisions. So the difference between an AI workflow and an AI agent is simply explained in a way that the AI agent has a bit more freedom and a bit more authority and autonomy to choose how it's gonna give you the output you're looking for. It might decide to use tool number one without using tool number two. It might need to use tool number one and two. So it's gonna have a bit more freedom or authority to give you the output the way it sees it should, based on the instructions that we're gonna discuss in the next slide. So this is it. The AI workflow has a specific sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, linear order. An agent can freely choose which tools to use. We're going to mostly be using AI workflows because they're very efficient and effective. We don't really need to use AI agents most of the times, but we are going to also show you how effective AI agents can be in some use cases. Key agent concepts. So, to understand how AI agents work, we need to look at how they are built. The way an AI agent knows how to send an email based on a specific way is through two things: instructions and input. So, instructions, we need to instruct the agent to send the email the way we want it to send the email. Let's say I tell the agent to send an email to John. It doesn't know how to send the email or what framework to use or what to include in the email or what data should it like get to add to the email. So we need to give it instructions for it to know what to do. And what we call instructions in the AI world is system prompt. So instructions are called system prompt. It's the agent's permanent job description defining its role, tools, and objectives. We also have the input, which is the user prompt. It's your specific one time request to the agent, like find John's email and draft a follow up. Now, the system prompt, as we mentioned, would be the instructions. It's what role it has, it's gonna do, the details, the tools it's gonna use, and the output format that we want to have, and all the details that it might need to do the job perfectly. It's a one-time thing we do, and we might optimize or edit later on, but it's set. However, the user prompt or the user message or the input is a variable, or at least it contains variables. And with every request, it's going to be changing. For example, I'm going to send a welcome email for every new client that I have. And every new client is going to have a different email, different name, and different details. So these details are called variables, and these are the variables we add to the user prompt so that it can send to each person individually with the customized data or the customized email. So the system prompt is defined, it's permanent, it's the job description. We can optimize it if we want to, but it's set. The user prompt, on the other hand, contains variables. This is a simple distinction between the two. I'm going to show you examples of both of these as we go through the program. Quality checks and your next steps. How can we prove that our AI agent or workflow works? We have 5 main points. Accuracy target. AI must be accurate at least 9 times out of 10 for us to know that it works. Speed target. We need to have the output in a short period of time, otherwise, it won't be as effective. Stability. It has to have a very low margin of error. Cost cap. We need the agent to do the job in the cheapest way possible. We can build agents in an efficient way, or we can build agents in a non efficient way. We need to choose the efficient path. Safety. We need to make sure that we're not sharing any sensitive or secret data with the agent, especially if we have it on cloud or on N8N, for example. It might not be the most secure option for you, so I would definitely advise against sharing or giving the agent access to sensitive or secret data. And your call to action would be your opportunity awaits. You do not, and I repeat, you do not need to be a coder to learn AI. Follow the steps, experiment, and learn by doing. Build small projects, see the value, and stack them for bigger results. What you have to do is you have to climb the stairs one step at a time, and at the top, you are going to be able to see the whole city. So the thing with AI is you're not gonna probably understand every single word I'm telling you right now, but if you give it 3 months or 6 months and you persist, you're gonna see the full picture and understand everything I'm teaching you right now, and then be able to hopefully, make a lot of money. So what this program is and is not, it's not a coding bootcamp or path to become the top AI expert in 3 months. However, it is a clear, safe, and practical way to use AI for real work, real results, saving time, helping customers, and generating tangible value. And now, let us dive into building our first AR workflow in the next video. See you there.